Hey, so a couple of you asked me to explain the Dutch school system to you, so I will do that right now. I also already did it in the collab that I'm in, link in the doobly-doo as always, so you could go check out that version. This one's going to be a bit more explanation because I didn't have enough time to really do a full explanation. So here goes. Let's just start with primary school. Primary school is 8 years. And you learn to read in the 3rd year, I believe. Yes, definitely. That's also when you turn 8, so you have some sort of reference. Pretty much nothing happens in those 8 years, I suppose. Well, it's just regular school. And then in the 8th year, the 8th grade, that's when you turn 12? Yeah. You get a test, and this test consists of a couple hundred multiple choice questions. And you can get a score from between 500 and 550 for some reason. I scored 550, which is the highest you can get. And I believe the lowest someone in my class got was maybe 504. Not that that's really that important. This test pretty much determines what you can go do after primary, which is of course secondary. And the score you got pretty much determines where you can go. And there's 3 levels, or at least 3 main levels. You have the lowest level, which has some subdivisions. For instance, you can go more in a theoretical way or more in a practical way. Is that what it's called in English? Where you do more with your hands. And then there's the 2nd level, which doesn't really have such a division. And then there's the highest level, which also has some subdivisions. For instance, there are schools that offer a bilingual course, which is also what I did. And then there's schools that offer special programs, and in the highest level you get to choose whether you want to do Latin and Greek. I also did that, unfortunately. And that's pretty much the subdivision, and so the score you get on that test in your 8th grade of primary determines what you can go do in your secondary school. Now of course you could totally bomb the test and it wouldn't result in a score that you were expecting, but the teachers pretty much, they understand that. I mean, if you get good grades all the time and then you sort of ruin the test, they get that. So if you then want to do a higher level than the test says you can do, they let you do a special other test again, and that would determine whether you are capable of succeeding, I suppose. Anyway, I was talking about secondary. It consists of those 3 levels, and they are quite different. The lowest level, the easiest level, is 4 years long, the 2nd is 5 years, and the 3rd level is 6 years long. And depending on what you do, you have to choose either in your 2nd or your 3rd year, you have to choose your subjects for the rest of your school. Now, the way this works is there are 4 groups of subjects, so to speak, and these groups are really similar subjects. For instance, you have a group where there's physics and chemistry and maths related to that, and then you have a group with economics and social studies and maths related more to economics rather than physics. So you have to choose between these 4 groups, and then there's of course the mandatory subjects. English is mandatory. However, you could do a special English, an advanced English course if you did the bilingual course, which is also what I did. So I get a different English class than other Dutch people. Dutch is mandatory, PE of course, RE, that sort of stuff. And then you get to choose a couple of subjects. These subjects could be anything. You can choose anything you like. But the thing is, you have to, for the hours, the amount of hours that you will spend in school over the next couple of years when you choose your subjects, you have to reach a certain number of hours. So if the group you chose doesn't give you enough hours for that already, then you have to add subjects to it, and none of the groups do. You always have to add at least 1 subject. For me, it came down to adding 2 subjects, and I added computer sciences, which is in none of the groups, and biology, which is in one, I believe. So on the lowest level you have to choose this after your second year, and on the other levels you have to choose it after your third. The way everything works then in school is that every year you have 3 so-called test weeks, and in these weeks you are given tests, obviously. So you don't have any classes, so you have the rest of the day off to study for the rest of the for your other subjects the rest of the week. You also just have regular tests throughout the year, but this test week is just so that you can get a set number of grades that the school requires. Then in your last year it's a bit different. These test weeks are replaced by exam weeks, and pretty much what that means is the same but longer and more difficult. And since I'm now in my last year, I'm in my 6th year of secondary school, I'm gonna be quite busy with that. But that's not until Christmas, so I don't have to worry about it yet. I can still put it off. The thing I like the most about this system is that people with different capabilities are separated in such a way that they can all achieve what they would like to achieve. And that really works well. But, as I said in my last video, I don't agree with the education. I agree with the system, it works, but I don't agree with the education. One thing I forgot: classes, periods, are divided in a very strange way. Every day has 9 periods, and you can be assigned any of those periods. For instance, my Monday, I don't have a period the first hour, and then I have a couple of lessons, and then just an hour where I can do whatever the hell I like, not related to school. If I want to do that, I can go make homework. And that's because we have so much choice. And because we have so much choice, you have to make a system where you can fit that into your timetable. So that's why there are days where I have a couple of periods in between where I don't have classes, so I just have to make homework or hang with friends. That's really annoying sometimes though, because I might have to wait till the 9th period, whereas I have a couple periods before that where I don't have to do anything, so then I'm just sitting in school waiting for my last periods, which usually is kind of boring. But you know, I think that pretty much sums it up. Any questions you may have, please do ask them. I will see too if I can answer them. And I will see you guys very soon. Bye.